What's good? How's it going, guys? Hey! It's been a while. Didn't get to see you last week, but at least we get to be live now, right?
I know, we missed him.
I'm excited.
Did you miss him?
I missed him.
I missed him.
Which you guys may have also
missed. Did you miss him?
I missed you so much! Hey, but you guys also might have missed Andrew's mustache here. Why don't you just go give him a little sneak peek of what that thing looks like? Yeah, look at that. I'm sure all of you watching are just so pleased.
It's pretty nice.
Yeah.
Not gonna lie.
I'm sure you're all so pleased that that's what you're going to see. But we're excited. We're ready for an awesome night tonight. We got a couple of cool things planned for you guys. Just a quick reminders before we get started. Be active in the chat. Have some fun. We want you guys to enjoy this, but also be respectful, be appropriate. If you're saying some stuff that you're not supposed to, we're going to kick you out. We just want this to be a cool opportunity for us to have some fun, play with each other, and hang with Jesus. Also, if you haven't, our main gathering services are still happening. 6 p.m. Saturday nights, 9 a.m. Sunday mornings, and 10:45 a.m. on Sunday mornings. And so there's a new website that you can look into for that. And so it's copperhills.org, and you got it on the big screen behind us. So you can go to that website, and you can either view the service live with us as a church family, or you can just go and check in on the Vimeo and watch it whenever you want. So that's pretty cool.
They had a pretty good one this past weekend. There was some guy playing the piano.
I really like his mustache.
You don't like his mustache?
No,
I thought it was pretty good. I thought it was great.
Yeah, DC Megatron or whatever back there.
Yeah.
DJ Megatron.
Mega, some
Yeah.
Megatron.
Yeah.
DJ.
Yeah.
Whatever. She did good though.
So I know one thing a lot of you guys are wondering, especially if you call Copper Hills your home and our youth group your home, is that what are we doing for camp? And so we've been doing a lot of calling, a lot of research, a lot of dates for camp, right?
Yeah. We've done a lot of stuff.
Called a lot of people. And so what we can kind of tell you is if you're a junior high student, the plan is to still push through with our UCYC camp July 24th to 28th. And so we really feel like that's an opportunity where we can still do that. In talks with UCYC, they want to still be doing that with us. And so for junior hires, that's good news. Let's work on that. That's going to be awesome. For high school, we don't really have a definitive yes or no as to if CIY will still be happening on June 15th through 19th. Been having a lot of calls with some CIY reps and guys who work there, and they're still figuring it out. And so I would say in these next 2 weeks, we'll be able to give you guys in high school a more definitive answer as to if CIY will be June 15th through 19th in California, or maybe if we'll be moving it back another month, or maybe we'll be going somewhere different. Because this season is all about being different now. And so we're going to take the punches as they roll along.
And gosh dang it, we're different.
Yeah.
I'm different. I'm different.
That's all I'm going to say. Go ahead.
Yeah, that's all about Jesus. So we are doing these new things of Bible breakdowns on YouTube and also on Instagram. And so, is there YouTube? Yeah, up there. Also, if you didn't watch Jude, it was pretty solid. I liked it. Did you guys film that at your house?
Yeah.
Was that a good time? Yeah, that's good.
Good to watch her talk about that.
Had a nice little good backdrop.
What?
Yeah. So we've been doing these Bible breakdowns, and so we're going to continue to do these every single week that we pump out with our our reading plan, and they're fun devos that we get to enjoy. It's just another way to interact with you on Instagram and both on YouTube. But if you haven't yet, we would love for you guys to go and subscribe to our YouTube page, right? And if you want to go find our YouTube page, you can go to Copper Hills Church. From there, go to, this is on YouTube, right? Yeah, so go to YouTube, go to Copper Hills Church. From there, click Playlists, and then you're going to click on Student Ministry, and you should find all of our videos. Subscribe to that.
That screen will pop up.
Yes,
click on it.
exactly. Got some pretty cool stuff on there. We'd love you guys to be a part of it. Also, if you guys haven't been watching or haven't been up to date, we are also doing this thing every single Wednesday at noon, where I get to worship with some of my really cool friends, and it's a really good time for us to begin to engage in worship and just have a good time of just pursuing Jesus, right? They've been pretty good.
It's been really good. It's been a lot of fun. So really quickly, we're gonna let you know who's behind the screen. We got Mary Frances right on the phone. Say hey.
Hey.
Yeah, give her a wave and a shout out. In the back, we got who?
Oh, it's DJ Decepticon Megatron.
DJ Megatron Decepticon.
Yeah, that DJ Con.
Decept the Megatron
Yeah.
DJs.
Hell, man.
So give her a shout out and a wave. And then we got Jake, the intern, back here. Say
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, there we go.
And then we got a guest speaker for a game that I'm going to play with later, but you don't get to know who they are yet. So, but yeah, we're excited. Let's get tonight rolling. Remember I said that we had student scare segments. Well, we got 4 new videos for you guys of some of our students being scared by their parents, and there's some pretty good ones. So check out this minute video. My favorite was seeing Whitney walk up the stairs and she was like, "Will you call my name?" And then her mom just got her good.
Yeah, those student scares are the best. My mom would do that, except nobody would ask her to do it. She just would do it for fun. She just every time I was walking around the house, boo.
Yeah, I can see your mom doing that.
Yeah,
that's really funny. So yeah, we're gonna do some more of those next week because we have more student scares that you guys may or may not have known about. So look forward to that.
Yeah, be on the lookout. Your parents, they're hiding. They can be in any room at any time. They're going to get you, and then we're going to put you on the screen.
So look for the embarrassment. We are not going to be doing a little student chat through our Bible reading plan because this week we just did some leader devotionals through little short little short books in the New Testament of our Bible. What were those 4 books that we did?
Yeah, so we did Philemon, we did Jude, and then we did some of the epistles of John, correct?
Second and third
John, like the 4 shortest books in the Bible, I'm pretty sure. Yeah. I know Titus is pretty short too, but I think those are the 4 shortest. All of them were about a chapter or less. Yeah. So it was a good time.
If you missed out on those, go back and rewatch them. Again, it's on our YouTube page, and it's also on our Instagram account if you want to. But we're going to jump into the most exciting part of our night, other than when we talk about Jesus, and that is our home hunt game.
Home hunt.
So, we got some good stuff planned.
Yeah, we got some great stuff planned.
So we had Andrew take a step out for this one. He's been doing it too much. And so we got Jake with us.
Yeah.
And so we're going to introduce to you our 3 themes. But before we do, Andrew, see, I'm just so used to Andrew being here with us. Jake, why don't you tell them kind of what's going to happen in this?
Yeah, so what's going to happen is we are going to have an object that you need to go and find inside your house. You're going to go and find that object. It could be multiple objects. There could be some scenarios that you have to fulfill while you're holding the object. You may need to bring other people with you. But you're going to do what we tell you to do. You're going to request in live. And then Mary Frances on the other side of the screen, she's going to accept the first person who requests in live. You're going to come in live. We're going to talk to you. We're going to make sure you meet all the requirements. If you don't, we're going to kick you out and find the next person who does. But if you do, we're going to ask you your favorite snack, and during this week, we're going to go to Quick Trip. We're going to get that snack for you. Yep. We're going to set it on your doorstep and run away so that you don't get the coronavirus.
You guys, not us.
If you win, you get a snack. So that's the incentive. It's a pretty solid deal. You don't really have to do anything except just go find something.
Free food and drink to win.
Nothing better than free food.
Yep. All right, so you guys are wondering what the first thing is. So what I'm actually going to do is our first one is kind of a switch up than normal. So I'm going to ask everybody behind the screen, except for our special guest, to come up behind us to get in this shot with us really quick as we start out here.
The whole gang.
The whole gang. One could say maybe the family. And so what we want you guys to do right now is to get your whole family together and request in live.
Every person.
So the first one to request in live with everybody in your family, in your home right now, jump in live with us and we'll get you some treats.
Good luck.
Okay, you guys.
Oh, we good?
We don't like you.
Also, it's DJ Tron Decepticon.
Yeah. Whatever.
Yeah. Your name is Megan.
Yeah. No.
Jake, how big's your family?
My family's not very big. It's just me, my mom, Christy, my dad, Chris, and my 2 little sisters, Susie and Abby. But then, I mean, our whole extended family, there's quite a few of us, but that's
We have a request.
We're gonna the phone turn around on us so we can see. Oh, we look good. Wow. Look at the t-shirt game we got going on. Hey! The Beachies! Wow. You guys got the dog and all. Awesome. So
Yeah,
Ben, why
my
don't you
parents were
introduce
outside.
the family to us?
This is my mom.
Hello.
Not me.
This is my dad.
Thanks, Dad. Thanks for letting us know.
Hi, Dad.
This is my brother. Hello. And this is my dog,
What's your
dog.
What's your dog's name?
Bailey.
What kind of dog is it?
She's a Morkie, a Maltese Yorkie mix.
A Maltese Yorkie.
She's a 6-pound rat.
That's a mouthful. Maltese Yorkie mix.
Wow. Wow, right on. Well, bravo. Way to go live. So this is what we're going to do. We're going to let all 4 of you guys get a treat and a drink and a snack with your tea. So, Ben, will you text myself what all 4 of you guys would like, and we'll drop that off for you Monday afternoon.
Big
Okay.
Thank
Thank
you.
you.
Guys. We're gonna take care of you.
It's coming right out of Jake's wallet. So
Right out of my paycheck. Right to your guys'
Thanks,
snack.
Jake.
See you guys. Thanks for jumping in with us.
Bye.
Bye, Beachy family.
All right, so the next one's pretty good.
Yeah.
Yep, next one's pretty good. I think we're just gonna let you kind of tell what this next one is.
Yeah, so the next one's, it's a hot commodity. You could say it's a hot commodity. You know, since coronavirus has kind of ended the world, we're starting to see this particular item fly off of shelves. So what we're going to do is we're not just going to get 1, not just 2, not 3, not 4, but 5 rolls of toilet paper.
Wow.
And so this stuff is more valuable than gold at this point.
so.
Apparently, in an apocalypse, this is the thing that you need to survive. Somehow, toilet paper is what's going to get you through having the flu.
Yep.
So you need to go find not 1, not 2, not 3, not 4, but 5 rolls of toilet paper and request them live.
Uh-oh, looks like we got somebody.
That was really fast.
We need to see all of them. We need to make sure we're seeing all your rolls of toilet paper with you in the screen.
If you found them that fast, you probably need to share more.
Caitlin, all right, I can
Hey.
see these rolls of toilet paper with you right now.
Okay, I have 6 rolls.
Oh, cheater! It's
Is that
all
okay?
Wow.
Does it still
We
work?
said 5.
Technically, there's 5 though.
That's a good point. That's
Good
true.
point. Wait, I'm gonna let you decide, intern. Do we
Yeah.
kick her out or do we
No,
let her have
she's
it?
good. She's good.
Yeah.
I mean, it is disappointing that you had them all in one pack, but I understand.
yeah,
We
they
can
are
go and find all 5 from different bathrooms.
Yeah, 1 from each bathroom on campus, actually.
Wow.
So they've got the cool little wraps on them. It's the 1-ply paper that nobody likes to use, but you kind of have to anyway. So
Yeah.
I'll trade you my 5 for your 6. Straight up trade.
Okay, we'll see about that.
Wow,
I'll
she
ask
said
my
okay.
mom.
That's awesome.
All right, Caitlin, well, why don't you shoot Mary Frances or one of your leaders a text, and they'll get to me about what snack and drink you like from Quick Tip.
Yeah.
Sound good?
Okay. Thank you.
See you, dude. All right, as she's heading out of there, you get ready for the next 2 items.
Oh, I'm ready.
But I'm going to intro it.
Okay.
And I'll just let you grab them. But be
Okay.
careful. Keep them to the side because they'll be able to see. So, this one's going to be kind of funny. Ultimately, what you guys have to do is you guys have to get 2 straws, and you have to become a walrus with the 2 straws. If you know, you know. Watch Jake. Oh, yeah. Go get 2 straws and become a walrus like this. Do we have somebody who already found 2 straws and is a walrus? Yeah, hit the top.
There's no way.
Hit the top one.
I think this is from last one,
Oh, from last one?
but we can try. Oh.
All right. We got one from, let's see. Allegedly. Wow, you're a great walrus. You know that?
That's my spirit animal.
This is your
Yeah.
spirit animal?
I was born to be a walrus.
You were born to be a walrus.
Bye.
That's awesome.
We're twins.
Introduce
pop
yourself,
shots.
sir.
Huh?
Introduce yourself. Who are you?
I'm Aaron.
What grade
I'm
you
a
in?
senior. Can I take these off now?
Nope, not
No,
yet.
absolutely
You
not.
still got his on. We're
I'm
gonna
a
actually let you two
senior.
have a conversation because you haven't met each other yet.
Yeah, so I'm Jake. Hi, Aaron. This is kind of a weird feeling, isn't it?
It is.
Yeah, like if you ever put a Q-tip like too far in your ear and it's kind of like, oh gosh, that's what it feels like, but in the front of my face instead of
Yeah,
the
I'm like
side.
about to sneeze.
Yeah, it's definitely, and mine has paper on it and it kind of smells weird.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
No, mine are used.
Yours are used. That's disgusting. This
Yeah.
whole pandemic.
He doesn't even have wrappings around his.
Yeah, that's nasty.
No, these are my cat's toys. Cheat
Ah!
so I
That's
just
significantly worse than a used.
But you definitely deserve Quick Trip for that.
You look fantastic. You look so good.
So Aaron, shoot me a text of what you'd like from Quick Trip, drink and snack wise. We'll get that to you Monday. Sounds good?
sounds good. Yeah.
Great job, Walrus brother.
See you later, man. All right, that's funny. So,
Oh, I can breathe.
how's your nose?
Like it's clear.
It's cool. Yeah.
My
It's kind of like a
allergies.
new tissue.
Yeah, kind of. I mean, just stick it in there and pull it out.
Yeah. All right, Mary Fran's gonna switch the screen around, and I'm gonna kick Jake out of here. Say bye, Jake.
It was a pleasure, guys.
And then we actually, for our next guest, is another Jake. And you might know this Jake. He's the West Wing wildlife leader. So Jake, come on in. Everybody, round of applause for him. Yeah. Of course. Jake here, as I said, West Wing wildlife leader.
Correct.
You enjoying it?
Oh yeah, junior hires they're a good time.
Hopefully some of you guys are on here now. We love you. Jake, what would you say is the most random thing you've done while being in this quarantine season?
Ooh. I think the most random thing I've done. That's a good question.
You're ready for that?
I wasn't. No. I think in one sitting I've had like 5 cups of coffee.
Oh,
Just
goodness.
because I just want it and I'm
So
bored.
like minutes wise or hours wise, how long was that span?
We'll go over like maybe like 2 hours
Wow.
ish. Sometimes
Wow.
I've actually done a lot like what these guys are doing, and you need coffee to go.
That's
so.
true. That's true. Tip of my coffee is Dr. Pepper.
Right.
So, you know, same
Amen.
thing, same thing. And then one thing I've noticed about Jake is on a lot of his like Instagram videos, his Instagram stories, you're doing a ton of skateboarding right now.
Correct.
Am I right?
Yeah.
So how is that going?
Not bad. I'm not as young as I used to be, so I was a lot better, but I do one trick now and I'm done for the week. So before I could go forever, ever.
Oh,
Now
yeah.
it's different.
I remember watching this story, and I think it was 8 different videos of him saying, like, I'm going to get it, I'm going to get it, I'm going to get it, I'll get it, don't worry. And we finally got it, and you're like, first try, first try, first try.
Yeah. And then I took an ice bath for the next couple hours.
That's fun. That's fun. Well, Jake and I are going to play a game. Last week, our intern Jake and Andrew played a game called 3-Year-Old Pictionary. And so Jake and I are going to finish up the last 6 rounds of that on our own. So how this game is going to go is I'm always going to let Jake guess the answer first.
So kind.
So kind of, right? I'll read off the questions for us. We'll interact with you guys a little bit. We'll see kind of what some of you guys think the answers might be. And then whoever gets the most right at the end of this is going to be able to pie the loser in the face. Have you seen us do this before?
I think I have. And I think I might have the advantage because with our West Wing wildlife kids, we
Okay.
just played Pictionary on Thursday.
Oh,
so
right.
Sailor drew an incredible dinosaur, so I think I got this
Bravo,
down. It
Sailor.
looks a lot like what you see up there.
Sailor's drawing looks like this?
Pretty close. A little better.
A little better. Okay. Tell me out there, Sailor. So, we're going to play this game. It's going to be a lot of fun. You ready?
I'm ready. Are you ready?
All right, here we go. Let's just see what the first question is. Okay. So hopefully you guys can see what it is. We'll tap on the screen so you can see the image. Answer A is a pterodactyl. Answer B is a dragon who's also a fireman. And answer C is a rabbit relaxing in a hammock. So while all these are going on, we want you guys to tell us maybe what the answer you think is. What do you comes out to right away with this?
Oh, I noticed. I think those are like some ears or maybe some like
Right there.
some horns right there. Like
Is that a tail in the back? Or is that a wing?
I don't know. Are those fingers or those feet?
It looks like it's getting stabbed to the chest, and then it keeps going through, but then it's like a 3-bladed pitchfork.
Right.
Trident.
I kind of see a Batman resemblance too. Now
What's everybody saying? What's everybody saying?
We've got A and C. We got a lot of A's.
Okay, a lot of A's.
All right, Jake, why don't you give your answer, and then I'll guess something different.
I think I might actually go with B. I think that was one that wasn't called out, but I kind of see how like the dragon head, but it might be stopping a fire instead of starting one.
I'm gonna go with a rabbit relaxing in a hammock. So, Megan, why don't you tell us who won? Ah! Woo, dang it! All right, Jake won that one. A dragon who's also a fireman?
It didn't make sense to me
I
either.
don't see any
but
fire.
Give us the point. Put it out.
Ah. Oh, a dragon is a fireman, so he puts out fires.
Right.
Stardom.
Stardom.
That's why I didn't get that one. Jeez, that's why I didn't get that one. All right, next one.
Oh.
Okay. Kind of looks like a Winnie the Pooh, Donald Duck creature.
Right.
So question A says some sort of quail. B, a T-Rex named Scott. Or C, just a plain old duck.
Yeah.
I really hope it's a plain old duck, but Feels like that's a trick question.
I don't know. I kind of like the creativity of the first two, though. So it'd be nice if it was one.
3-year-old's got a smart mind. They could be drawing this and intentionally wanting us to pick something crazy, but it's not like that. All right, Jake, what do you think?
Oh man, I think I have to go with the plain old duck.
All right, you chose
Wow.
the 3-year-old done.
Keep it simple.
I'm gonna say the 3-year-old had a pet, an imaginary pet T-Rex, and he named it Scott. And this is him or her trying to draw it. So I'm gonna go B. Let's see what it is. Oh, two L's.
The duck's name can still be Scott too, though. So
It's a T-Rex, but there's a
I
quack.
see it. It's got the big head like it, but there's the quack.
Imagine if the T-Rex quacked.
That'd be kind
Can
of.
you show us your best interaction of what a T-Rex would look like quacking?
I think it'd kind of be like this and get all big and get quack. Right?
That's gold.
How's that? That's
That's
pretty good,
good.
right?
All right, next one. Next one.
Oh no.
Whoa. Please be coffee, not some sort of blood. But we got answer A is a Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle drinking a smoothie. B is mommy drinking her coffee, or maybe in this case Jake with the ninja mask drinking his coffee. And then C is Tom Cruise in Mission Impossible 3. I like that one.
I like that one too.
That's good.
Oh man.
What we got some people commenting yet?
B.
They're thinking B. Ooh.
That's what Sale said. So did Ben Beachy.
If it's their mommy, I mean, I'm worried about this 3-year-old's
I was
parents.
gonna say, imagine being the mom and this is your kid drawing you. This is what the kid views you as.
Like a self-portrait. Like,
Wow, Kaylee wants it to be A.
Kaylee wants it to be
I mean, Ninja Turtles are pretty cool.
Kaylee wants it to be A. She's one of your wildlife.
You know what,
heroes.
Kaylee? This is on you. I'm going with A.
Alright, he's going A. I'm going. Oh, I really want to get C. I'm going B with all of you guys. I'm going B. He's going A. Let's see what it is. No! It's A!
She should trusted Tom Cruise.
It's a kid movie, right? Whose 4-year-old kid has seen Mission Impossible 3?
Or at least they think they see it. 'Cause
And understood
that's obviously a Ninja Turtle.
Man, I should have started like that. Dang it.
Man, dang it.
All right,
well,
he's up 2. I'm at 0. We both took it on the last one, so he's still in the lead. So we got 3 more left. This is my chance to come back if I want to. Let's see what we got next.
Well,
Okay, we got
okay.
a sun-looking thing, squiggly lines. Maybe that's like an air or like a
Like a
lasso.
string,
Yeah,
yeah,
lasso
something
like that. And then a stick figure. Kind of looks like Andrew, but that's okay.
Yeah, that's a mustache.
Yeah, that's a mustache.
Yeah.
That's not a smile. So the answers we got are the sun blasting rays of death on unsuspecting beachgoers. Wow.
All right.
All right, a 3-year-old drew that. Wow. B, a creepy octopus giving a hug. I bet it's that one. C, Spider-Man.
Spider-Man.
Yeah.
All right.
Wow.
Wow. Man, I don't. That's tough. I mean, the beachgoers one would make sense, but I don't see one beachgoer.
Yeah.
Right? I mean,
There shouldn't be beachgoers
are
out there.
the rest gone?
Is this beachgoer nude right now?
I
That's
don't see
another
clothes.
thing.
Andrew, why don't you have clothes on?
Yeah, come on, Andrew. Jeez.
Just the mustache isn't enough.
All right, Jake, why don't you give us your answer?
Oh man. Let's see. Let's go with. I'm gonna go with A.
All right.
I have a good feeling about A.
I'm gonna go B.
B.
All right, he's got A, I got B.
Try
Let's
to
see the
see.
answer. Stop!
All right.
Dang it!
Climate change is real. And the sun got angry. Did you see that?
Yeah. Man, you really did play Pictionary like a
Oh,
week ago.
man.
Are you like feeling strong about these answers, or are you just like, oh,
I think, yeah, I guess. I didn't guess much last time. I just watched. But
yeah. Lovely. I love that. All right, 3-0. Right now I can't win, but maybe we can strike a deal at the end if I get this next one right. So let's see. Let's see if I can get this next one right.
oh, what's that?
Okay.
That's a big beat.
What would you even say if you didn't look at the answers? What
Right.
would that look like?
I mean, this guy over here, you know, the Toy Story little aliens.
Okay.
I kind of see that.
Yep.
I'm just confused on who his friend is.
Yeah, was that 3 horns or was that 2 horns in 1 ear?
Is his head on fire? I don't know.
So answers are A, a king holding hands with his best friend who's a bee.
Okay.
Is that his little stinger?
Yeah.
Which is a king. Oh,
I
okay.
think a king. That could be his friend.
An alien taking a guy to be probed. Awesome.
All right.
Awesome. Or C, a huge fly whacking a man with a fly swatter.
Wow. Okay.
I didn't think about that one.
Those are all good, really good. I can see all of them. I think I like the king though, because he's got a crown.
Yeah.
Huh.
What are you guys saying?
It's a big
Just
bee,
tell us
though.
what they're saying.
Well, they're just talking about how scary this generation is. They're saying that these 3-year-olds have better vocabulary than than them.
Yeah, way better than it.
They're saying C. They wanted it to be C.
They want the
People
B's.
say what?
You guys want the B's?
Well, got some A's. Oh, Kimberlyn wants an A. Okay. Milky says B.
You know, I think the Fly's getting some payback. I'm gonna go with C.
Okay. I've noticed that every question hasn't been the same answer back to back. So I'm going to go with B, the alien taking a guy to be probed. Let's see what it is.
Yes!
Yes!
That's some good test taking skills
Yes!
right there. He probably.
Oh, yeah. Like
Yeah.
the ACTs and SATs and whatnot, it was just
Easy.
C, 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 C. Okay, 1B. C,
Right.
C, 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 which is why I got a 21. So, you know, that's cool. That's cool. All right, Megan, I believe we got one more, right? Okay, we got one more. Before it goes up to the screen, you want to strike a deal with me?
Oh, like if you get it.
Yeah.
You're going two.
If I
two
get
in a
it,
row.
double down.
Double down.
Actually, you know, you'll still win. All or nothing on this last round. So you can say no, and that's
That would be
okay.
generous, right?
And you'll still pie me in the face, or you can be generous and give me the chance.
You know what? I believe let's make it fair. I'll give him the chance. He gets this
I
one.
know this last one.
Uh-oh.
No, I'm just all right, here we go.
Oh boy.
Wow. President Donald Trump. If you're watching this, Donald Trump, appreciate you. All right.
Right away.
You saw Shrek right away. I saw Winnie the Pooh. I don't know why. Winnie the Pooh with fangs. Huh. So, well, let's see. A is President Donald Trump. B, a Yeti singing opera. And C, Batman with a beard. Megan, does this look like Batman with a beard?
I mean, if I took my glasses off.
Yeah.
Probably.
She's saying this is how she would draw Batman too, so that's okay. All right, what up, Mary Frances? What are they saying?
Yeah, what do they think?
B.
They think B? Like Yetis. Okay, I kind of see it though. I don't
I
know.
think this 3-year-old kid really knows who Donald Trump is, though.
He could. I mean, he's like sometimes feels like he's
It
everywhere.
could be this 3-year-old kid's idol.
That's true.
You know what I'm saying?
His dad might love him, and he's just following his dad.
Exactly.
So, I don't know.
Jake, what do you think? What are you gonna
Oh
go?
man, you know what? I grew up with Batman as my favorite superhero, and I kind of see a beard. So I'm gonna go with C.
All right, he's going C. I am not gonna go with Trump. I was just saying that maybe so he would guess that. I'm gonna say B, a Yeti singing in an opera.
All right.
Let's see.
No!
Oh, wow!
He added the rest. See,
Guys,
that would have helped.
This is actually just Megan's drawing. This was Megan as a 3-year-old kid drawing Batman. If you don't know, Megan loves Batman. So,
You know, I think before this went down, I think I did
Oh.
see her drawing this at Well Coffee. So
oh no.
I should have known that from the start. All right.
I'm gonna show the people what that
See
is
what we
right
got.
there.
This nice little
Oh man.
pie.
Well,
All right, Russell.
I lost. Bravo, fair and square. Fist bump. Bravo, fair and square.
All right, buddy. Thank you.
You know what you
Ready?
need to do.
You sure? You can survive this one?
Yeah, here we
Okay.
Oh.
I can barely see out my left eye. Okay, I'll take
Yes,
this.
sir. Thank you.
Why don't you tell the people about West Wing Wildlife really quick?
Yeah, of course.
I let this droop down my face.
That's gonna be a little distracting. I'm gonna go, no. But yeah, so I lead for what we call West Wing Wildlife. I get to work with an organization called Young Life, which is a nonprofit organization where we go out and try to share Jesus with middle-aged students, middle school, and high school students. So what I get to do is I'm doing a lot like what you see Russell's doing here right now.
Pie in your face and everything?
The pie in your face and everything. I have not gotten a pie. I've had friends who got pies.
This is my 3rd time.
Nice. I'm still at 0, so I'm gonna keep that sheet going. But our goal is to meet kids who don't know Jesus yet. So that's the kind of the difference between us. So our goal is to have kids meet us. We build relationships with them and share Jesus with them, and then eventually they're coming here or to a church and connecting with their church to grow deeper in their faith.
That's awesome.
So yeah, and there's, like he said, one of our leaders, her name's Kaylee Townsend. I think she's on live with us. She's phenomenal. And it's a really cool thing to do. So yeah, we just are volunteer led, and we just try to hang out with kids and share Jesus with them.
Right on, man. This tastes like ice cream. Did you guys put ice cream in this?
No, it's full fat instead of non-fat.
Oh, you got all the fat.
I'm getting a lot of fat on
It's
this.
falling off.
Well, thank you, Jake, for joining us.
Yeah, thanks for having me, guys.
Before Andrew comes up and gives us our Jesus moment, check out this little 25-second dad joke.
Okay, here we go. So we can get a little center. How we doing right here? It's good? Little ruler. Perfect. All right. Don't you guys just love those bad jokes? I do, because they always make me laugh, and bad jokes I think are always funny. If they're dumb. If they're bad, that's just bad. But, so, if you guys haven't been like watching along or been able to connect with us during these Instagram live feeds, what's actually been going on is we've been walking through this series called Pursue. And the series Pursue is all about this idea of being able to worship and pursue Jesus. And so tonight is actually going to be, sadly, the last part of this series. We have absolutely loved this series and walking through with you guys. We've loved talking about the ways to pursue Jesus. And if we maybe can you put that first slide up? Because in the first week we talked about how worship is any response that we have to God. So that can be prayer, that can be singing, that can be even like going on a walk or a prayer walk, or maybe even walking your dog or something along those lines. Anything that we do to have a response to Jesus, that's what worship is. And then the week after that, we talked about how prayer is actually a very crucial thing to do to begin to encounter and experience Jesus and to pursue Him. The week after that, Russell came up and gave a great talk about how silence and solitude is a great way for the Lord to draw near to us as we begin to draw near to Him. And so these 3 weeks that we've been talking have been so much fun. And tonight, this last talk that we're going to have on pursuing, I think wraps up so well this idea of pursuing Jesus. Because tonight what we're talking about is something we honestly don't hear enough about. And we've been talking a lot of ways of how we begin to pursue Jesus and what that looks like. But to end this series, we want to talk about Jesus' pursuit of us. And this is a really, 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 really big deal. And so we're going to put our tweetable moment up right now because we're just going to let you know from off the get-go what we're talking about. And it's this idea that God's pursuit of us looks like an intimate friendship with Jesus. And so, but before we get started and dig in deep to this talk, what we're going to do is we're going to do our first reflection time. And so this time is for you. If you're sitting around with people, we're going to ask you a question and you can talk amongst them. Or if you have your journal with you, as I ask this question, you're going to spend the next minute and a half beginning to write down your thoughts and stuff that's going on with that. So, reflection question number 1. What has been your favorite part of this series, or what have you learned the most? So again, take about a minute and a half to answer that, and I'll see you guys soon. If you're talking with people, make sure you finish up the talk. If you're journaling, make sure you finish down the thought that you're journaling. And we just want to say it again. This series has been so much fun for us to begin to talk about, especially for me, since I get to be like the student worship pastor guy. I love being able to talk to you about what it looks like to pursue and walk through with Jesus. But so before I begin to start in on this idea of God's pursuit of us, I want to start us off with a question. And the question is, have you guys ever been lost from your parents? Or like separated from your parents, you know what I mean? Like in like an amusement park, or maybe a store, or like maybe a grocery store, a clothing store. Have you guys ever been separate, right? I think almost every single one of us may have a story of us being like separated from our parents and like how that may have been absolutely terrifying, right? Well, I myself have actually had a lot of these stories. And the funny part about it was almost all of my stories are all intentional. I would actually go run away from my mom. And I would go hide because I thought it was just a fat game of hide and seek. And I thought, dude, this is going to be so good. And the best part about it was I was small enough that I was actually so good at hiding. There was like these clothing stores and they had like two walls like right next to each other, and I was just skinny enough to fit back there. My mom could never find me, freaked her out, and it was good. And then like I would also go hide underneath tables, right? That like really, really small tables, and so my mom would even come up to these tables looking at like clothes and stuff, and never saw me. And I was like, dude, let's go. But if you ever hid in stores, you know the absolute best place to hide is the circular. What is it? The circular clothing racks. You know what I'm talking about? Like at Walmart, these big circular racks that have hangers all over them. Now, these are the absolute best place to hide if you've never ever hidden in a store. Because if the rack is full of clothes, what you do is you go and sit right in the center of it, okay? And you put your head down. And as you put your head down, people that come and look through this clothing rack, they can't see in the middle. So they have no idea you're there. And the best part about it is if you pull your feet up, it's like you're invisible. Like no one, absolutely no one can see you. Now, this was never a good day for my mom, right? But I remember one day specifically, my mom took me to Walmart, and I love going shopping with my mom. It was like so much fun. But the thing is we're sitting there, and I see these clothing racks, and I'm like, yo, let's go. It's go time. So I went to this clothing rack, sat down, tucked my head, and pulled my feet up, right? And my mom actually comes up to this certain clothing rack, starts looking through, doesn't see me, and then she walks up. And I'm like, cha-ching, let's go. She didn't even see me. This is great. Now, my mom walks up, and so I'm sitting in this clothing rack for probably about 15 to 20 minutes, right? And I'm really proud of myself. Like, dude, I'm doing great. Okay? What I didn't know is that when my mom came up and looked for the clothes and then walked off, she walked off because she was terrified and couldn't find me. And so for these past 15 to 20 minutes, my mom has been frantically looking through the store. Right? She's been looking through all underneath tables and bathrooms. It's gotten so bad. My mom goes to the front desk, like customer service, tells them what's happening. I didn't even know this could happen. They shut the Walmart down. That's what's called a Code Adam. So what happens? They call it Code Adam. No one's able to leave the store until they're actually able to find me. What ends up happening is my name comes over like the intercom, and I'm like, well, that's kind of cool. So I pop out, start walking down the aisle, and my mom, frantically bawling down her face, comes, runs, gives me a huge hug, and was like, it's one of those times where like she's so excited to see me, but giving me a spank at the same time. Like, oh my God, I love you, but don't ever do it again. Oh my God, it's so good to see you. Don't ever leave me. Oh my God, right? And so like, I learned something incredibly important about my mom that day. That my mom would move heaven and earth to find me. And that meant so much to me, right? Even as being like a little young kid, that my mom would do anything she could to find me. They had shut the entire store down just to make sure that was going to be a thing. And I think this exact same way that this is the exact same way that God seeks us out every single day. Except the only difference is, unlike my mom, God knows where to find me. He knows what I'm hiding from, and He knows where I'm hiding at. And if you guys have your Bibles, we're going to be looking at a passage in Romans chapter 5. And the beautiful thing about this passage is I think it begins to talk so well about this idea of God pursuing us. And so Romans 5, verse 6 through 11 go like this. When we were utterly helpless, Christ came at just the right time and died for us sinners. Now, most people would not be willing to die for an upright person. True. Though someone might perhaps be willing to die for a person who is especially good. All right, I could see it. But God showed His great love for us by sending Christ to die for us while we were still sinners. That's a big deal. And since we have been made right in God's sight by the blood of Christ, He will certainly save us from God's condemnation. Now, I love being able to talk about this the week after Easter, right? Because the whole point of Easter is talking about this man who is fully God coming down, dying on a cross, and paying a price that none of us could actually pay, right? And the coolest thing is that the topic of God pursuing us, you see ultimately found in the person of Jesus. This fervent pursuit of wanting to know us, longing to love us, is found fully in the person of Jesus. Because you look at verse 8, but God showed his great love for us by sending Christ to die for us while we were still sinners. That is good news. Because you don't seek what you don't love, right? God loves us and he sought us out. But then the question arises, why did Jesus pursue us? Why did he do that? Why in the world would God do that? Why would God send himself, his son, down to earth and die? Why? I think to understand this, we have to go back to creation. See, because in creation, we see this creation account of God creating everything. And he creates everything in the heavens and the earth, and then he creates humans. And he says, it is good. The best part about this being good is that we are in right relationship with God. We're spending every day with him, eating with him, walking with him, talking with him, being in constant communion with the Creator. That's what we're meant to do. That is so, so cool. And God created that, and he said, yeah, that's good. That's what I want, right? And then we make a choice to disobey what God says. And this choice of disobedience separates us. It breaks this good friendship, this good relationship that we have with God, this right standing with him. It breaks that. And now we are separated from the Lord, okay? And so, and the thing about this is us being separated from the Lord, it does something to his heart. He's not okay with this. He creates us to be in relationship with us. We goof it, and that does something to him. He doesn't like that. And so from that day, we see this fiery pursuit of God longing and wanting to be with us. And so you read through the Old Testament, and on the scene pops Jesus, right? But for so long, we've been separated. For so long, we have not been in a right relationship with God. And there has been nothing that we've been able to do to right that relationship. Right? And you read through, we see in the Old Testament, the only way for the relationship to be made right is by shedding of the blood of a blameless animal. And so, but that only covered that one sin at that particular time. And so, and outside of this, there's been nothing that they've been able to do. No rules they could follow, no amount of worship they can bring, no amount of good deeds that they do. There is absolutely nothing that can bring them back to this good and right relationship and friendship with God that he's always sought with us. And so, God himself knows that we cannot get back to him by our own power. He knows this. And this is where we see God's ultimate pursuit of us come in Jesus. Because yet again, us being separated from the Lord, that bothered him. I don't think a lot of people know that. That didn't sit well with him. And he knew that the only way that we could get back in right relationship with him is if he went and paid this price. Right? So he creates us. We're in a right relationship with him. We goof it. And then he sees that the only way that we can come back to right relationship with him is if he pays that price. Right? But he does it. Jesus pays a price that none of us could pay so that we can come back to this good founding friendship and relationship and communion with God. That's the whole point of being alive. Are you starting to see this fervent pursuit? We were made right, separated, and God said, I want them. I need them. I want to be with them. And he sends Jesus to pay that price. See, because the past few weeks we've been talking about how we can pursue Jesus, right? And we've been talking about how we can pursue the Lord in worship and in prayer and in these different things. But none of that actually matters if we don't understand God's pursuit of us. Because if we're not careful, we can think of God as being out there, right? We can think of him being as almost like he's distant. Like, I know God loves me, but if I want to experience and encounter Jesus, I have to work so hard. I have to worship so hard, pray so much, do so many good deeds just to maybe begin to experience or feel God's presence, right? And we have to seek him with worship and praise and prayer and enough good deeds to finally actually reach him. And the truth be told, that's exhausting. That's not good news. And truth also be told, if we're honest, some of us feel that way. Some of us feel like God's out there and we have to work so hard just to begin to experience or feel him, right? That's not good news. But the beautiful thing about Jesus is that his fervent pursuit of us solely lies on him. Now, what I mean by that is this. Jesus' pursuit of us has nothing to do with how we act or how we worship. That is good news. Because no matter how well I worship, no matter how good I sing, no matter how many good things I do, no matter what I do, God will always and continuously, fervently pursue me, whether I'm in relationship with him or not. That is good news. And see, because it has everything to do with Jesus wanting to be in relationship to us. It has nothing to do with what we can offer or what we can do. And so if God isn't out there, right, if he's not somewhere in distant, but he's actually actively pursuing me, what does that mean for me? Well, I'm really glad you guys asked. You guys can take a look at verses 10 through 11. For since our friendship with God was friendship with God was restored by the death of his Son while we were still his enemies, we will certainly be saved through the life of his Son. So now we can rejoice in our wonderful new relationship with God because our Lord Jesus Christ has made us friends of God. Say it with me, friends of God. Okay? Have you ever considered God as your friend? We may have considered God as creator, as holy, as these different things, but have you ever thought and considered God as your friend? That God now considers us friends. Because, see, the simplest truth of God loving us also holds the most weight. The simplest truth of God loving us also holds the most weight. Because God being creator, now he considers me his friend because of Jesus. That's crazy. God being creator, the creator of the universe, now considers me his friend because of who Jesus is and what he's done for me. Does that make you a little uncomfy? It may not. For me, it makes me a little uncomfy because God being my friend is actually something I actually really struggle with. If I'm being 100% honest. I myself, Andrew Matthews, struggle with God being my friend. Because I'm cool with him being Lord. I'm cool with him being Savior. I'm cool with Jesus being creator. But I really struggle with God being my friend. Because that drastically changes our relationship. Because I go from just being someone he loves, or a servant of his, to being someone that he deeply, deeply, deeply cares about. And the reason why friendship is so hard for me is my freshman year of college, I had this friend named Patrick. One of my best friends in the entire world. He was one of my closest friends to date, right? And we were homies. We hung out all the time, lived in the same dorm room, did everything together. He's my friend for a solid year, come at the end of the year, and he breaks my trust in probably one of the most worst ways I think you can. Right? And if you want to know more about this story, come text me, come talk to me. I would love to tell you this offline. But he breaks my friendship, and now because of that, I have a very broken idea of what friendship looks like. Okay? So me reading this and God saying, I want to be your friend, that's hard for me. Because I don't do friends very well. Right? I don't have friends very well. A lot of my friends have hurt me. That's why I struggle with this idea of God being my friend. Because yet again, it drastically changes our relationship. I go from just being a spectator of his glory to being someone he deeply and intimately cares about. See, because God's pursuit of us looks like an intimate friendship with Jesus. God's pursuit of us looks like an intimate friendship with Jesus. And this is more than just being like a buddy-buddy with Jesus, like, oh, yay, let's go get some pizza and ping pong, right? Like, I think those things happen with Jesus. We can tell him about our days, tell him about what my favorite color is, we can tell him about all these things as well. But I think also this friendship with Jesus, this intimate friendship with Jesus, looks like God saying, hey, I know you struggle with that, and I'm sorry. I'd love to talk with you about that and walk you through healing with that. Or, I'm sorry you've been hurt like that. You want to talk about it? Or maybe I'm sorry this quarantine has been so tough on you physically, mentally, and spiritually. I know it's caused you a lot of battles with your mental health. I'd love to help you with that if you'd let me. See, because going from us being servants to God to us being friends of God drastically changes things. Now, this doesn't mean that we're still not servants of God. This doesn't mean that doesn't happen. We are still yet servants of God. But the most unique and cool thing about Jesus is that he gets to be creator and friend in the same breath. So he gets to be the guy that we follow we follow all these directions from and life from, but also be the one that we talk to and experience everything with. And so Andrew, how do we respond to this? How do we want you to respond to this? And the application is actually going to be very, very simple. In the morning when you wake up, the first thing we want you to do is take a deep breath and go, Jesus, I trust that you are pursuing me today. And during the day, re-say those words out loud as many times as you can. As many times as that comes to your mind, Jesus, I trust that you are pursuing me today. And in the evening, go and write down the ways God did pursue you today. And do this for the entire week. Maybe let this be a thing that you do every day for the rest of your life. Because we need to deeply understand God's pursuit of us. Yet again, when you wake up, deep breath, Jesus, I trust that you were pursuing me today, and do that all day, every day. Right? Because yet again, God's fervent pursuit of us is what actually is going to long us into worshiping him and pursuing him, because that is such good news. And so, we have our reflection time number 2. Have you ever thought about God being your friend? What we want you to do is take these next 2 minutes to write down what that relationship might look like. Because yet again, God's pursuit of us looks like an intimate friendship with Jesus. I'll see you guys in 2 minutes.
When I was your foe, still your love fought for me. You have been so good to me. When I found no words, you paid it all for me. You have been so kind to me. And for the overwhelming, never-ending, endless supply, oh, it chases me down, fights me down, found me denied. I couldn't earn, I don't deserve, still you give yourself away. Oh, the overwhelming, never-ending, endless, oh, God.
All right, so don't forget this week. As you walk through, Jesus, I trust that you're pursuing me today. And this could be actually a great thing to do before we begin, because this week we're continuing our Bible reading plan in 1 John, and it's going to be 5 chapters. And so, when you spend like 15 minutes before like practicing worship or even prayer on your own, one of the great things that you could do to start this time off is going, Jesus, I trust that you're pursuing me today. And spend that time in worship or spend that time in prayer, and then read a chapter each day. And have a writing utensil or a journal or a notebook next to you, and begin to journal out and write down maybe ways that we see God pursue us in Scripture, maybe in your own life, and also just what stands out to you, what's been incredibly impactful for you as you begin to read this. Because we're going to be posting verses from each chapter every day on our Instagram account, from either Russell, Jake, or myself. And so we love you guys. We're praying for you guys. We think you guys are awesome. And keep on looking out for how Jesus is pursuing us every single day. I'm going to pray for us, and then we'll be good to go. Jesus, thank you for your pursuit of us. Thank you for longing to be with us. For God, for helping us return back to right relationship with you. For that meaning so much to you that you paid a price that only you could. We thank you for that. God, thank you for pursuing us so fervently, so that when we begin to turn to you and we begin to know you, you're actually never far away. That's good news, and we thank you for that. As we continue this week, I pray that we are absolutely aware of the ways that you pursue us and the ways that you long to be with us, and that we begin to engage in this friendship with you, both as Creator and as our friend. So thank you so much for that. Thank you so much for this incredible relationship that you bestowed upon us, and we only can credit that to you, Jesus. We love you and we thank you so much. It's in your name that we pray. Amen. See you guys.